everyone. So this is where I slept. So yes, I quit my job and left my house behind. It was time for me to go on a road trip, find some freedom, nature, and most importantly, through this road trip, I wanted to show you the coolest artisan bakeries in Northern Europe. To start this journey, we stopped at a small artisan shop. We only bought some cheese, but they sold all kinds of traditional Polish products. Beers, jams, breads, and even much more. The place was idyllic, that's why I wanted to share it. Then we stop in a forest along the way to have a bite to eat and just try the cheese. And after that, we hit the road towards Mikołajki. Mikołajki is a small seaside resort town on the edge of Poland's largest lake. The town is very nice and of course I had to stop to try some product from the only bakery open that day. Unfortunately, this croissant was flat, tasteless, it didn't even have a hint of butter. And to top it off, it was dry and quite ugly. But later on in this video, I will show you one of the best bakeries in Warsaw. At the end of the day, we found a little spot hidden in the nature by the lakeside and try another pastry from the bakery before. A sweet bread filled with blueberries, and the verdict was the same. It was bad. Well, it can't always be perfect, right? Then we simply enjoyed our last moment together before parting ways for the summer, unfortunately. And we slept here, in the midst of nature, in peace, the best feeling in the world. The next day we enjoyed the solitude and the sunshine, and then we hit the road again. Through forest, green, and wild spaces, we drove towards centuries-old trees that still stood majestically on the lake's shores. And at the end, the time came for us to part ways, for professional reasons, but we will reunite soon in another country. And you'll see that. So far, I continue my journey, my trip to the bakeries. But before I wrap it up, I wanted to save the most exciting part for the end, the visit to bakeries in Warsaw. Guys, to wrap up this video, I couldn't wait to show you these two amazing bakeries. The first one caught my attention, thinking it was a unique independent bakery, but when I look at the receipt, it seemed to be a franchise, or maybe not, as there were two different names listed. It was quite intriguing. And then let's move on to the second bakery, my personal favorite, which I've been eager to visit for a very long time. It's Będzie Dobrze Bakery. We picked up a variety of goodies, including mouth-watering loaf of bread. And just in a short moment, we're gonna try all the sweets. But before we conclude, I hope you've enjoyed this new content. If you did, show your support by hitting the like button, and make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for the rest of our amazing road trip to bakeries. This looks... and it's still warm. Garlic. That's super good.
What do you think?
It's extremely good also.
It's so warm, is it?
This one as well. Well, I didn't got lots of mushroom or cheese.
Yeah, it's
When I bite
sometimes.
Actually, the three of them, they're super tasty. They're delicious. It's quite a good idea actually. Cheese and mushroom with kind of brioche. We're gonna try this now. This is the yeast cake, huh? Plus blueberry. Blueberry, yeah.
Cheese.
And this one was also yeast cake with rhubarb and strawberries. Yeah, it's tasty also, surprisingly. I didn't expect that.
I'm not a huge fan of this, but with the cheese inside, it's like warm.
Try this one. Rhubarb, strawberry. That's good
Lots
also.
of fruits.
And the Nutella croissant. Nutella is in the middle, so I'm gonna bite them. Oh, it's good too. I mean, the croissant, the Nutella is good, and the croissant. Well, the croissant is simple dry croissant. It's okay. The Nutella does the job. So those two very good. This one and a bit less.
Can you feel the butter in the croissant?
No, really. Don't really feel the butter here. So both bakery very good. Today, I wake up by the riverside, surrounded by the soothing sounds of birds. So it's the morning, and I like to prepare a cup of tea. Then I'll hit the road toward Dansk for the first bakeries of the day. The first bakery, tucked away in an old street, is housed in an unremarkable building. Yet, inside that humble bakery, you find raw and unpretentious product. The atmosphere is warm and artisanal, as you can see. I buy a few items, leave the place, and head straight to the second bakery in a more bustling street. But unfortunately, I forgot to film inside again. And here are all the products I bought. Everything was delicious, simple, and full of flavor. So this one is a dough with cherries inside. Wholemeal bread roll. And you have a big piece of apple inside. It's super tasty and fresh. And this one is like a yeast dough with raspberries or strawberries. This one is okay, but there's not enough jam on top. Exploring all these different bakeries is very fun. I believe it's important to support artisanal work. So after these heartfelt words, I hit the road again. But before that, let me show you some image of Dansk from my visit last winter. It's a very stunning port city. The road along the Polish north coast is breathtaking, with fields, forests and the sea. On my way, I make a stop in Ucka, a very pretty small tourist town. Situated right on the coast, it's the kind of place I truly like. So after this little trip, finding a secluded spot is challenging due to the popularity of the coastal area during peak season. However, I eventually find a spot to settle down, enjoy a meal and go to bed early, because tomorrow I have to hit the road at 5 a.m. to drive to the city on the German border and catch a ferry to Sweden. When I decided to become a baker, it wasn't about just following my passion. It was just a job, like any other, in a universe that I thought would be awesome. But soon enough, I started hating the bakery industry, the working conditions, especially in France. And actually, it's only recently that I've started appreciating it in a certain way. But you know what never lets me down? Traveling. So I decided to combine my love for travel, nature, and visiting artisanal bakeries. So after some serious detective work, I discovered this bakery in the heart of a Swedish village. It's a cafe where they bake their bread and pastries on site. This kind of place are super trendy here, and the cozy vibes of the place made me want to hang out a bit longer. And well, did I dive into some delicious treat. I tried their mouth-watering cookies, their amazing cinnamon rolls, and of course, their sourdough bread. Absolutely mind-blowing flavors. Though I gotta admit, the prices were a bit steep, but we're in Sweden and everything is expensive here, like seriously expensive. So after indulging my taste buds, it was time to hit the road again and escape into the arms of nature. So I found a tranquil spot to spend the night where the vibes were just perfect. Nothing fancy, just me soaking up natural goodness and recharging my soul. Nature has this insane calming power, you know? Out here, nothing can get on your nerves. Well, except for the damn ticks that are feasting like crazy this season. There are so many I can take out from my dogs every single day. Anyway, back to the bakery scene. Over time, I've come to appreciate baking in my own way. It's not just about the job anymore. It's about acknowledging my skills and using them to try to make a difference. Because let's face it, working for someone else is not so cool. No matter where you are, you're just another cog in the machine producing away. But unfortunately, that's how the society works. So, to feel a little bit more fulfilled, I decided to share my techniques and recipes with anyone on YouTube, just people who are passionate about baking. Even if you didn't go through the formal training or are rocking your own bakery businesses, I'm just happy to find people like you. So buckle up and get ready for more incredible content and mind-blowing videos. We're starting off with Robert's Bakery, an artisanal bakery that specializes in sourdough. The place is quite unique, housed in a small countryside cottage that doesn't look like a typical bakery from the outside. There's a lot of greenery and even beehives. So yes, I'm gonna do this here because outside is raining a lot, so I don't really want to go outside. So I stopped at this very pretty bakery and I bought one bread, one rock bread and one cardamom muffin. And this is how the cardamom muffin looks like. It looks very pretty. So it's really delicious. And I also bought this small rock bread. It looks pretty, it's quite heavy. I'm just gonna cut it. It's very dense and there's a lot of seeds. 100% sourdough. So this bread is also very delicious. Okay, see you for the next one. The second bakery, Broadbacken, has an intriguing story. It's nestled in the middle of nature, in an old farmhouse with ample seating both inside and outside. The owner, coming from a different professional background, decided to become a baker and created this peaceful and delightful place. Interestingly, I only saw female bakers working there, which is unusual but not uncommon in Sweden. Unfortunately, there wasn't much left when I arrived, but what I did have was absolutely delicious. Then I went for a walk in the surrounding of the bakeries with my dog. Later on, I finally found this spot to relax, take walks, and appreciate my time. When I travel in a van, I don't like to rush. I prefer quitting a job and taking the time to live during the travel, just as I do in my regular life. It's better than having a short, tightly planned itinerary that actually could affect my mental health. After all, is work more important than living? I just want to grow old with memories, experiences, and enjoy nature as long as it's here. I won't take anything to my grave, so I might as well make the most of the things I love. So I eat the pain au chocolat before in the bakery, and I also bought this one, the Tosca Boo, and actually I don't really know what it is. Tosca, I guess it's like kind of Italian something maybe? I have no idea. But there's some hazelnut, peanut, almonds, and some seeds. I don't know what seed is it, and lots of syrup, and it's something rolled and twisted. And I think it's made out of cardamom. That's very possible. Well, it's super tasty also. And I bought this bread. I couldn't try it in the bakery, which is a seeded bread. So seeds outside, quite beautiful bread. And there's also lots of seeds inside, made of sourdough. Look at this. Beautiful bread. This bread is excellent. The taste is just amazing. You can feel the seeds, the acidity of the sourdough. So if you go in this city in Sweden, this is Artisan Bread Bakery. Just go. The pain au chocolat was tasty. So now I'll show you what I bought in the bakery you just saw before. One thing I bought is this bread. It told me it's a traditional Swedish bread. So it's made with rye flour, sourdough of course, some sugar, anise. So it's round, a little bit flat, and it's kind of brown inside. You can smell the anise. It's salty and sweet in the same time, but it's very good. I'm not gonna eat everything now, just trying. So these tiny biscuits, sweets. It's quite good biscuits, not too dry. There's some butter, wholemeal flour, and also rye, I think, and cardamom. Very simple and very tasty. And of course they also do the cinnamon bun, very popular. I'm in Sweden, so I have to buy it pretty much everywhere I go, and it's always really delicious, sweet, lots of flavor. Love it. So yeah, this bakery, I spent some time with this baker. 10 years he was working in this bakery. Baker is a really hard job, so I know many bakers, they just want to change. And he bake everything on the wood oven, which is quite cool also actually. That's quite inspiring to meet this kind of people, but in the same time, it's just the truth about baker, because it's hard job, so it's hard to do it for a very long time. Anyway, yes, I'm happy to show you this, and let's keep going with the video. So I know it's a mess in the camper now. You see, the bed of my dog is ready. I made this thing to get some air a little bit during the night and avoid the mosquitoes. And here is like the cemetery. I killed maybe 100 mosquitoes in like 3 hours. And I installed this. It's for the bed. You know, the cover you put over the bed to avoid the mosquitoes, and I put it here. So this is how it looks. Looks properly done, but actually there's lots of space where the mosquitoes can go. Like from there, I tried to put whatever I could, but still they go everywhere and they come from everywhere. And my dog is getting sucked completely by the mosquitoes everywhere. But I put her inside. There's one here. I put her inside, but she doesn't want to go inside. So the river is just here. It's a super pretty place. Except the mosquitoes. Here looks like a magic forest. The whole soil is covered with blueberries everywhere. Everything green on the floor is blueberries. This is the road to go to the bakery. This is a gravel road. That's quite a nice road to take every morning to go to work. So that's the spot for the night. And nothing around. So I tried another technique, the mosquito net like this, and it looks better. Like this is fine, just it's too warm inside now.
There is a life valley.
So we're in the national park. And this hike, well, it's quite simple. It's maybe 1-2 hours back, and it's to see the highest waterfall in Sweden, which is this one, 90 meters high.
When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am home? Wait, hold on, be together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, we'll be together. Take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
It looks very easy on the video, but we're going to the top of there.
If I could take you back to my youth and show you what I wish I
So we are not
knew.
on the top yet.
My will is strong
almost.
with a place to lean. In the moment I hung desperately. The
Waterfall.
other ring on my wrist is gold. Pairing with
Close
the
your
light.
eyes. Get some rest.
This is just so beautiful. Now we're going along the cliff, and we will go down later. So yes, if you're in Sweden and if you're planning to do this hike, it's not that difficult. Just to go up is quite intense. Yeah, the good point is we're in summer now. It's 7:30 and I'm not scared to be out when it will be dark, because it won't be dark. Even if I stay here all night, I will still have some light, so I can't be lost. So yeah, if you do it, it's the hike on the top of the highest waterfall in Sweden. Just over there, there's the oldest tree in the world, 9,500 years old. I put you a picture now. Yeah, well, I didn't go because, as you can see on the picture, it's quite impressive by the age, but the tree itself is not ready. And when you walk, there's no mosquitoes. 1 more kilometer going down and we arrive. And now we have a different landscape. More trees, more green. Or maybe not more green, it was still green, but definitely more trees.
It's over now, so don't despair. The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay.
So I was just working on the computer with the view.
Gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray.
Yeah, she's sitting in the bed. I made a video about her story, and she has very particular background, and when she freaks out, she just don't eat and don't drink.
It's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay. If all the blue skies fade to gray, we're gonna be okay.
So now I'm just walking the dog near the place where I slept. I'm gonna show you in a minute. She's happy. That's a pretty nice place. I'm gonna get ready to go to the bakery. It's the bakery day. So I'm gonna visit Maxim, who has a bakery in the mountain, in a quite touristic place. And I'm gonna meet him. Hopefully I will do a video with him. Maybe tomorrow. We will see. I slept. There's a big lake and river also. There. Beast is still happy. And look at this. I don't think with a normal car you can do it here. Look at this. But with this one it was super easy. So no problem at all. And look at this spot and this view. That's beautiful. So the weather is not gonna be nice for the few next days. So what I have to do when it's like this is I have to take out the battery and plug it straight into the 12 volt of the car. When I drive it's gonna recharge the battery, which needed now, and especially because I want to plug and charge my computer. And hopefully I have to drive slowly and it won't fall on the floor. Look at how beautiful it is. It's such a pleasure to drive in these landscapes. So I can show you something. So now we're hiking a little bit and look at the dog. Doudou, attends. Yes, she's carrying her own shit. Yeah, because I didn't leave it. It was in the entrance of the park. So, well, it's a little bit dirty. Okay, so I'm gonna do this here for the bakery I went today, which is a sourdough bakery, Grofossion. It's quite difficult to say for me. It's a Swedish bakery. So it's a bakery in the middle of the mountain, actually. It's completely surrounded by forest and mountains. This bakery is like in an old house, and they change it and build it to make it a bakery. And actually the baker is French also, so I went there and I filmed him working the whole day. So there is a video about this. So if you want to see how it works, how is the bakery, where is it, I put the link here and you have in the description also, and you can see the full video. It's very interesting because you can see the whole process, how it works, the bakery, how it is, and it's very interesting and very educative, I think, in my opinion. I have the croissant. This one. Well, it's a little bit flat because it was in the package and in my backpack, so now it's a little bit flat. I have to say that for the croissant, he do it with some normal butter. He doesn't use some Tourage butter. He's in the middle of the mountain, so for the delivery for this and buy this, it's quite complicated. So he do it with normal butter, and yeah, for doing it with normal butter, which is quite difficult already, and his bakery is quite warm inside, so that's really a good job like this. You can even see the layers, so I have to say that's like this, that's really good croissant. I got lots of expectation for this one because I'm a huge fan of croissant. It's a little bit more dense, but it's completely normal because it's made with normal butter. The butter melts very quickly and it can mix with the doughs. The recipe looks good and the tasting, nothing wrong to say really, it's really good. Cardamom roll, which is very popular in Sweden. So I got it this morning. That's a base of kind of brioche. So it's perfect how it should be. You can see inside. It's still moist and soft. The seeds bread. So this one, look at this. It's really nice. Really well done. Nice cut. and nice baking. I like this color. And I have to say that today it rained all day and it's gonna rain for the whole week, so it's extremely humid outside. I don't know how much it is, maybe 90%. The inside of the bread looks like a little bit chewy, like I like actually. Like it has some consistency, so well, you can smell the sourdough, the seeds. And what I like, you can also smell the crust. That's kind of funny because the crust has a little bit a taste of a bread that you bake in a wood oven. This one also is excellent. So if you go in Grovelsjön in Sweden, don't miss this bakery. Croissant excellent, cardamom excellent, and this bread excellent. So I'm gonna keep this for the breakfast for tomorrow. I'm gonna eat this now. For me it's really nice to meet some people and talk to them, some bakers, especially from people who had different background and they work in small family business. Sourdough, it's changed everything. If you want to buy bread, go for it. And it's good to support the artisans, because the franchise and big bakery, they just kill the small artisans, and that's what they want. Of course, that's business. They just want to kill the small one and just make more money. That's the rule of society. The rich make more money and the poor make less. But yeah, if we change things and if we go buy bread and pastries to small bakeries and we stop going in franchise, tomorrow they close. So that's the best we can do. That's our power. So yes, I hope you enjoy this and keep going with the video. Ciao. So if I had to answer the question, why do I make these videos about bread? I would say that at some point in life, you just realize that working for someone is not really enjoyable, because at the end of the day, you're just the bitch of an employer and you just make his or her dreams come true. So it's not really enjoyable. And also I noticed that many people enjoy to make bread at home, and sometimes they don't have the techniques or experience to make bread. So I just wanted to help. I know there's a lot already on YouTube, but I was like, why not me? I have to try, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I started doing that while I was working for a company. And then now I'm on a road trip, and I want to show you also some nice bakeries, because I'm traveling, but I also go to see bakeries to show people, because I think it's interesting to see what other people can do. And because there's not only like the big franchise and bakeries like this, there's also some tiny bakeries, family bakeries, where some people work and they make really nice bread, and often I would say they make nicer bread than in the big companies. So yeah, I wanted to show you this, and I also wanted to get some kind of inspiration at some point, see what's possible, what's not, what I can do, what I'm gonna do, and just get ideas. So now it's time to show you the first bakery. Two different bakeries, and the first one, I don't remember. Oh yeah, in the first one I bought this. It's like a cinnamon roll, but it's made with Nutella and it's baked, so I don't know, but it looks nice. This bread, it's oat bread, baked perfectly, looks super nice. And from the second bakery, so I just bought some bagel. One bagel, looks nice, and one French baguette. So actually I forgot to say it, but those two bakeries, they were in the north coast of Poland, and I put them in this video because I wanted to talk a little bit more than usual, to explain a few things. And I tried these products, and of course everything was delicious, but maybe I should take just some product that in general I don't like. Or maybe it's just also because I choose the good bakeries, because I could go to the main bakeries like the franchise or something, and well, some stuff are good, but some things are not. And all these bakeries I show you so far, they are small sourdough bakeries, and the products are just super tasty in general. Sometimes they are not pretty, but all the time they are delicious. So that's all I can say. And why do I make also this video about traveling? Well, simply because I wanted to film my travel. So simply, I want to do it for myself because I traveled for the last 15 years in maybe almost 50 countries. So yeah, I always film my travel, but I never did it for YouTube. I never did it for the internet. I always did it just for myself. But this time I was like, well, I'm doing some video about bread, so why not filming also my travel? So I'm just gonna combine traveling and bakery, and I'm just gonna film pretty much what I do and how I travel usually. So yes, it's also a good memory for me for later, maybe if I got Alzheimer when I'm old, or even just when I will be old, you know, just seeing the travel I did in the past. Just for me it's quite cool, and for the ones who want to see it. So it's like there's thousands of it on internet, so I have nothing more special than other people. But yeah, the travel part I do it mostly for myself and for the people who want to see it. And so if you enjoy it, I'm super happy. And if you have any ideas or suggestions or things you want to see, you can just let me know in the comments your thoughts, and yeah, I'll check that and I will answer.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. Doesn't make it
And this is what I bought from the bakery you just see. That bakery has very simple product. Nothing fancy, but looks super tasty anyway. And that's what I like, that's what I want to see. So the first one, she told me there was a cream with a blueberry cream sablé. I don't know how you say maybe in English. So ice sugar on the top and blueberry cream. I bought it yesterday and it's still crunchy. The dough is super nice. The taste of the blueberry is very strong, so that's perfect. So the next one is like a puff pastry, like a dough for croissant pretty much. Ice sugar on top, almond and strawberry jam. Small square. Yeah, very simple and very tasty. So super nice. And the last one I bought, still blueberry inside because it's the season now, the blueberry. And I think it's dough like brioche. To me, ice sugar is not necessary. Blueberry jam inside. Nice dough, not too sweet. Perfect. That bakery was cheaper than the other one, and products are more simple. When I say more simple, it means nothing fancy, nothing like shiny, perfect, just artisanal. And yeah, that's perfect. That's what I like.
spinning bones. I'm remembering the words you told me.
After visiting Maxim's bakery in Sweden last week, I finally crossed the Norwegian border. Days are getting more humid in general, and I'm not sure what to expect from the weather. It's supposed to be a bad weather very soon. Anyway, I arrived quite late, slept here, then I took the road the next day to meet Miro and his bakery in the village of Solja. Once arrived to Solja, I went straight to visit the very old and well-preserved church. This tiny village is situated in the heart of Norway, like I said, in the middle of mountains and national parks, and not so many people live there, and that's where Miro decided to open his bakery. I will visit him tomorrow, and so far I just found this pretty spot to spend the night. So today I went to Elt Bakery, which is in the mountain in Norway. It's owned by a 22 years old guy who is not initially baker, but he learned bakery by himself. At some point he arrived in Norway and he decided to be a baker and to make his own bakery. So he made his own bread, sourdough bread, in this very typical Norwegian house. So I followed him during the whole day and I filmed everything he did, the place, his process, how he worked, and it's super interesting because the bakery is very unusual and you can see the video because it's online. So the video, I put the link here and in the description of the video. So now I have a bread from this place. I tried it before, but I think it's quite huge. It's like 750 grams, like big bread, big sourdough bread and pure sourdough bread, which just like this, it smells already. I really recommend you to watch the video because it's interesting and I've been really inspired by this young guy. I'm gonna cut it in 2 pieces with this, which is not the best. So from this bakery I just have one bread actually. I didn't take more because there's no pastry yet, because he started not so long ago. He had 3 or 4 different type of bread, but I'm alone, so I'm not gonna buy 4 and put in the bin all the rest. So this is how the bread looks. The color is interesting because the white flour he used is a little bit creamy already, the color. He also put some oat or some whole milk flour. So it's very nutritious bread. Take a small piece like this. It's completely full of flavor. You can feel the levain. So yes, that's a very nice bread. He's a young baker, but he can make much better bread than many of the French bakers in France. This, and that's what I like with this trip, meeting artisans and people who maybe didn't have a background in bakery and who learn everything about it. And at the end of the day, we have to go to small artisans. Maybe it's more expensive sometimes. You pay the people. You don't pay a boss who's gonna leave the rest, the crumbs, to the employees. So that's a very different story than going to the franchise or the big company bakery. Again, in my opinion, it would be even better that every employee make their own small bakery, because with one small bakery you can provide for yourself than working for someone that just give you the crumbs and often in bakery world treats you like shit. And what you don't know about this video now, right now, is I'm eating the bread next to some shit. I'm not kidding, some shit, and quite big shit. See? So that's probably deer or the moose, I don't know exactly. So yeah, let's keep going with the video. If you think this video worth it, you can give it a like and subscribe. It's free for everybody, so go for it. So let's get back to the video. I left Solia, now I'm going to the national park around the area, and even if I expected a bit of rain, I didn't know that very soon I would go through the highest amount of rain and flood of Norway. But so far, I don't really know where I'll go next. My plan is to go north, but depending on the weather, I might change my plan. So I will check that later. And I also want to avoid the crowd of tourists and campers. So we are in Dovrefjell National Park in Norway. And well, what you can see over there, it's the whole national park. It's really beautiful, and here there's some wild beef, some wild musk beef, I think that's the name. But yeah, look at this. Starting to rain a little bit. So we walk like 1 hour to get to here. Over there, we could go on the summit over there, or this one, I don't know exactly. It should be pretty much like 5 hours walk, but with the weather and it started raining, we're just not gonna go. And just enjoying for some time the silence, the birds, the rain, and the nature. So now I'm editing the video. I can say that this place was just amazing. I have just one thing to complain about. And it's that in Norway, it's really difficult to find a good spot to spend the night and be alone in the nature without campers. And actually that day, a big RV parked literally 50 minutes from my back door. I couldn't even open them. And that just because there was a tree and they couldn't even get the TV. So I just turned in my grandpa mode, we argue, and they left. And actually this happened 2 times. So I don't understand why, but so many campers, they don't need their private space. Or maybe they just don't even care about other people who need it. But yeah, that's why I try to avoid them. But in Norway it's really not easy. Which is in the middle of Norway pretty much, and I really wanted to go to this place because actually there's a bakery. So I bought 1 croissant, one, I think it's like pain raisin but with some chocolate inside, and 1 bread, and I paid 151 Norwegian money, so it's like 15 euro almost. And 1 croissant is 5 euro. This croissant was very tasty. Actually it was quite big and super tasty. I can't really complain about this. But yeah, the price is just mad. Then I bought this one. The price for this is 43, which is about 4 euro. 4 euro for this. It's big, it's crunchy, it looks really great. It's not sourdough, it's not artisanal, but and this bread, which is very big, maybe 700 grams or 800 even. So I paid this one 59, which is pretty much 5 euro 50. I don't think it's sourdough, no. It's probably yeast, maybe a little bit of sourdough eventually. Just seed bread, because it's my favorite, so I have to try it. So yes, now I'm gonna try this one. Well, it looks really great, like the croissant, same dough. This one is with chocolate inside. Maybe there's no crème pâtissière inside, I don't think so. It's really delicious. It's really good. At this price I would be surprised if it wasn't good. So I bought this product because I wanted to try from this place, but in my daily normal life I would never buy something this price. So for this bread I'm gonna try also. I'm not gonna cut it, or maybe I should cut it. I'm gonna cut it. Well, it's quite dense. No, it's not sourdough at all, not even 1% sourdough. It's yeast, 100% yeast, so what can I say? It's good bread, but that's not exactly what I like. That's good bread. So anyway, if you go to this place, if you have lots of money, you can go for sure. If you don't have much money but you really want to taste something tasty, you can try their products. Well, it's good to go, but it's far too big bakery for me, because even there's two different parts. There's a bakery part, there's the coffee, there's also they sell some cheese, some meat, and make everything in the same place. The pastries are very good, and I ate two and they're super delicious and super expensive again. And the bread, well, yeast bread. I'm gonna eat it because it's seed bread and it's always good. But it's just not what I like. That's for the bakery in Oppdal, and Oppdal is a quite touristic place for summer or even winter. That's a place to go, and that's a place to try. Let's keep going with the video. Another great and quiet place where I slept this night. The doggy is still sleeping. And today I'm gonna drive to the west coast of Norway. So it's probably gonna be the end of the nice spot to sleep for a few days. I end up in this place quite randomly, I have to say, because actually I slept in the forest near here with my dog, and we just went for a walk this morning. I just saw there was some sign telling that there was a mill, like a mill from the very old mill, and even it was used until 1920, something like this. Now they just keep it, they restored it, and they keep it just to show to the hikers and people coming, the visitors. That was the place for the horse, which is now not a place for the horse anymore, because there's some people working here during the day to show people how it worked. So I guess visitors, they can just leave a comment on the book. Look at this door, it's so pretty. So now, as you can see, there's a table for visitors. There's a bridge over there. Here was a kind of machine to prepare the wool. You see, there's some example of the wool, and it was meant to be used for people or animals. So in this place they used to store the charcoal. Actually, you have some here. And this one you're gonna recognize. So there was someone sleeping here. It's very dark. So there's a pond over there, at least the water. And there's a system who goes down to the mill and to the other place to make the wool. This is probably a stone for the mill to grind the flour. And here was the mill. And unfortunately now the mill is closed, because there's still some people working during the day to show to visitors. Well, this is what I see from the window outside. So here in this place, it used to be like a family working here. Make the flour, to make the wool, to make some iron tool. So in this whole area there is like the toilet are here. And here was the house for the family. So in this cottage used to live the miller and also his family sometimes, not always apparently. But yeah, it was for him and the other workers. So as you can see, here was one room. Some clothes made with the wool. Even this is made with the wool. So that's the room for the family. Here is the cottage where they used to live. This is actually super pretty. Well, they restored it. Like I said again, of course. but this is super pretty. Look at this table, look at this wood. It's beautiful. Hope you enjoyed this visit. Unfortunately, we couldn't see the inside and how it worked of the mill because it was closed and it's early morning, so I guess maybe nobody works here today. That was quite interesting to see how people used to live and how it worked. So yes, hope you enjoyed it. So now I'm driving and we're supposed to do Trollstigen, which is one of the most popular roads in Norway. It's just a road in the mountain going up or going down. But yeah, the weather is not with me. Well, the whole week was like this, so I have much less video taken. But yeah, so there should be on the left and on the right some huge mountain. It should be beautiful, but well, can't see much. That's how it is, so we will see when we will go there. So now we are on Trollstigen. It's a 6-kilometer road, and I just started. And well, oh, there's a viewpoint, I guess. And yeah, so we are still on the road, Trollstigen. Still at the beginning, the 6-kilometer road, and well, can't see much. So here there's a very popular waterfall. Maybe 7 a.m. Of course it's raining, so well, it's raining all day, but I had a nice view of the Trollstigen, so the road of the troll is pretty nice. It's just super cold now. It's still inside the van is like 13 degree, 14 degree. Every time I go out to walk my dog, just completely wet, so everything is wet in the car. But well, it's much better to be in the cold in my car traveling than at work somewhere. Yes, everything's fine. So I walk the dog, enjoy under the rain a little bit the area, and early morning, before the crowd, I drove to the ferry to go to Geiranger. Taking the ferry was super easy actually. I didn't book any ticket, I just arrived there, paid about €8 if I remember the ticket, for about 20-minute boat, which surprisingly is quite cheap for Norway. I didn't expect that actually. Then, once arrived, if I remember, there was like 1 hour drive to Geiranger from the ferry, but it can take much longer due to the bus of tourists, campers and cars stopping everywhere to take pictures, even on the other side of the road. But yes, here also the view is just crazy. Geiranger is a small town with 250 inhabitants and almost 1 million tourists every summer, so you understand why it's crowded. The town is pretty, but it's more for the view and activities that people come here. There is so many different outdoors activities, especially if you don't count your money. But I do, and there's too many people for me, so I already feel the need to leave to be alone. At this point of the travel, my next destination is pretty much unknown. I don't really know where to go, I'm stuck in the rain, the cold, it's up to 5 degrees in some area, so finally I just decided to go in the direction of Sweden, so I go straight east. I went through beautiful landscape, and between 2 showers of rain, I could even walk and use the drone. Then I stop on my way to Lom, and it's super popular bakery, so I had to try it. Lom is a pretty town of 2,000 people living yearly, but Lom is super popular for its church, built out of wood in the 12th century. But that day, unfortunately, I couldn't go inside, so I just roamed around and went to the bakery to eat as much as I could. Oh, this pain au chocolat looks good, crunchy, just maybe a little bit small and quite light. This is 55 Norwegian, which means almost €5. €5 for this. Well, it's good. It's good, but well, I've seen better than this. But still, it's good. Nothing special to say, except the price. So this one is quite big. I paid this one 43, so cheaper than the pain au chocolat. Cheaper than the pain au chocolat, it's bigger and it's much heavier. There's some pistachios. So this one is brioche with pistachios and cardamom. Well, it's very tasty, and some ice sugar on top. In my opinion, it's much better than the pain au chocolat and much worth it, because it's cheaper and it's bigger. That's very good. I'm probably gonna eat everything. Okay, so yes, I went to this bakery in Lom. So I bought this pain au chocolat. I also bought this kind of brioche with pistachio, which is thirsty. And this bread that they call full corn bread. Quite big. It's quite nice. I wanted to try this bakery because it's a very popular bakery in Lom. At the opening there was a queue already, even outside. So it was very long. Tourists, they go there. It's very popular. There's 2 floors. It's very pretty inside. And this place looks more like artisan industrial bakery, because there's baker inside, they do everything by hand, You can see the people working. At the end, it's still kind of industrial because every products are made out of yeast. I'm gonna cut it on my legs, and if I cut my legs, well, it will be good for YouTube. For the size of this bread, it's very light. Just like this, you can say it's yeast and not sourdough. There's lots of seeds inside, you can see. But the smell of this bread, well, it just smells like white bread with seeds. So to me, I need bread now because I don't have any bread, but it's just bread. I don't really enjoy eating this bread because it's just like white bread and seeds. Nothing special really. You can buy the same everywhere. That's quite unfortunate. But in the same time, in a place like this, that's what they have to do because there's so many people and that's what people want. I'm gonna eat this bread. I'm gonna try it. I'm not disappointed because I did not expect much from a yeast bread. It's good. It's just a yeast bread, so I don't really have much to say about this. The place is super nice, very pretty, just near to the waterfall. Well, everything is expensive, but we're in Norway again. The sweets I bought, like the brioche with pistachios, and everything was good. This bread is good, but if you're looking for real bread, you're gonna be disappointed. If you're just looking for bread, it'll be fine. So yes, that's what I can say. Nice bakery, nice products, just the area make it like super nice. So most people like it, that's the most important. So see you on the next one. I'm now almost in Sweden, and if I can say, I'm happy to go back. Norway is blowing your mind, it's super beautiful, but I prefer the peace of Sweden, getting lost with nothing around except nature. So before arriving there, I had a few stops, and at some point I arrived in this town, I don't even know the name, where there was TVs, camera, reindeer on a leash, many people, like a summer party, and like I said, I still don't know the name of the town or even the event. But I quickly visited the streets, the church, and went back on the road. So I went to this bakery in Lillehammer, in Norway. I just bought 2 small bread. They were sourdough bread, because those were the big, they were very too expensive. It's like €8. €8 for bread. I don't know what they put inside. They put some gold or anything, I don't know. Spelt bread with just small piece, so nothing fancy, but the big bread looked nice, as you can see, that I'm gonna try. This spelt bread is quite good. I can really taste the sourdough, so it's quite good bread, this one. They had 3 types of bread with sourdough. One was oat and one was sunflower, and this one is sunflower. Because it's just a patch of dough and they cut it to make some small pieces for people like me actually who don't want to buy big bread. So I'm gonna try it. So yes, there are some seeds inside. It's a good bread also, but so for this small bread and the other one, I paid €3 each. €3. €3 for this. I thought there would be a piece of gold inside for this price, but not even. And I bought a sweet also because, well, I was very hungry and it's breakfast. And I had also to try something sweet. Tried some blueberries with some vanilla cream, I guess, and some kind of brioche. Yes, we have a dough, which is a kind of brioche, maybe a little bit more soft. In the middle it's some crème pâtissière, nothing special, and some blueberries. There's the vanilla in the cream, for sure. Actually it's very good. And I paid this one 48 NOK, which is almost €5. So okay, this one is a little bit big, I admit it. Sorry for the sound, there's a busy road here. Because now I'm quite near to Oslo and I'm going to Sweden, but there's more and more people and more noise. In general, in Norway, it's quite difficult actually to find a place to sleep where it's very quiet with nobody. I arrived in this place and the camper on the right arrived, so he kept quite good distance with me. But like 5 minutes ago, the one on the left arrived and he parked 2 meters away from the other one. I don't understand, don't be that kind of shitty people. If you rent a van, if you have a camper, it's to travel and to enjoy. They're gonna put a picture on Instagram on the river like, oh, look at me, I'm in a van life. But what they don't show is that they park 2 meters away from another camper. What's nice in this? These people, they shouldn't travel with a van. They should just go to the hotel. It would be better for them. People won't understand, but when you travel on a camper, you won't enjoy nature. You don't want to be annoyed by people just parking like 2 meters away. You can hear them talking. You can hear their fart. Exactly what I said. They're gonna do the Instagram picture with the van near the river, and on the picture you won't see the camper just behind. So I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna enjoy it. And Lillehammer Bakery is a very big bakery. It's like inside is huge. It's pretty. It's like kind of luxury bakery. Well, it's not a small artisan sourdough bakery for sure, 100%. The people, you can see the bakers at the back doing the bread. So at least they're probably artisans. So it's just a big bakery. I wanted to try it because it's very popular. Yeah, that's not the bakery I like. Of course, the products are far too expensive for me. It's just bread, you know, flour and water. How can you make bread €6? And it's flour and water. It costs nothing to make bread. I guess you just pay for the area, for the whole bakery. You pay for the piano they have inside, you pay for everything, but you don't pay for the bread. That's just my opinion. And at the end, I went there, I bought this. I wanted to try, I wanted to show. So let's get going.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again?
So after spending some time in Lillehammer and roaming around and eating good food, I stopped somewhere on my way to Sweden, in the forest. And the place I found was absolutely amazing. I drove a little bit on the four-wheel drive to reach this place near the lake, and when I arrived, I had a full lake, the forest, and the view for just myself. I was completely alone there. It was really an amazing place, with some nice mushroom also. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of rain, but it didn't really stop me from making a fire, pick up some blueberries, and just enjoy my time here in the forest with just the birds, the rain, the view, and my dog.
If I could take you back to my youth.
When I think about it, I sometimes feel like I should have stayed in this place a little bit longer. But I traveled for 3 months, like it's never enough. Going back to a place where we have to work has nothing exciting. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not to be work all the time. But well, society, the system made the majority of people accept this, so this is considered as normal. And, well, at the end of the day I still want to travel, whatever I do. Anyway, my time here was absolutely lovely. I saw water birds that I never seen before and had a really lovely time. I even found some mushroom and they were as big as my head. They was really huge. I didn't take it to eat because it was probably a little bit too old for me, but that was really a huge mushroom. Then after this it was time to reach the Swedish border. So I slept here last night, and if you can see there's a yellow sign. The yellow sign is just here, and here you can see they cut the trees, and same here, all the way they cut the trees, because here actually is the border with Norway and Sweden. In Norway, I go to Sweden. I'm in Sweden, I go to Norway. I'm in Norway, I go to Sweden. So yes, that's the border, and the car is literally here. I sleep on the border, and I can cross like this, no fence, nothing, and I still didn't see any mooses. But the good point is, this morning when I woke up, that's some footprint. Here, they're fresh all the way. Go all the way over there. So one passed during the night here, which is quite cool just to know this. when I arrived at this place, which is exactly at the Swedish and Norwegian border, I drove like on a 10 kilometers gravel road through the forest to reach this point. And yeah, absolutely nothing around, just nature again, exactly what I want. So I slept on the border, which was maybe 50 meters from the car, and there's no fence and nothing. Not everything is good about Europe, but at least this is quite cool. The next day, as every morning, I just take my tea and I went for a walk. I pick up some mushroom because there was mushroom everywhere in this area, and this day I made a mushroom omelette. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I found a spot just near the lake in the forest, and I spent actually 5 days over there. It was absolutely lovely. The first day I was on the beach, as you can see, but the next day I don't know why some campers came and they had to park like 3 meters from me. And yeah, there's forest all around the lake and all around the area. So I just took my car and drove like pretty much 5 minutes, and I was completely alone again near the lake. There's something that I often hear about road tripping alone. So many people are scared to be alone, and that's why I want to talk about the loneliness. When you travel, even if you're alone, you're never alone, because in the nature there's so many things to enjoy, and I'm really a big fan of wildlife. I try to find animals to see, and in this place I could enjoy the cranes. Those birds, they migrate thousands of kilometers every autumn and spring. When I was younger, I used to spot them near the lake in my hometown in the southwest of France. They were coming to spend the whole winter, so there were thousands of them. And to me, it's quite funny to see them in summer and in the north of Europe. Every time I hear them in the sky, I just look up and try to spot them. So yes, in the nature, there's so much to see. I rarely get bored when I'm outside. So after a long walk around the lake with my dog, it was a little bit warm, so I just took off my clothes and went for a swim. The water was actually super nice. It was quite surprising because I expected it to be quite cold because it's in Sweden, but not at all. It was super nice. I put the camera on, and actually I even forgot, so I stayed like 10 to 15 minutes in the water, and that was absolutely lovely. Then later on, I had to clean my clothes, yes, because sometimes I have to. So I don't usually go to the laundromat because it's quite expensive, and find a way to clean it. And this day, I just did it like this. I just use some ecological product, put in this basket, put some water. I just do it with my feet, and I clean everything in the lake. Then I put everything to dry between the trees or with the car. So talking about the solitude, and I'm gonna talk for myself first, it's really something I like. I like to spend my time alone in the forest. I like to do my own things. I like to put some music. I like to travel alone in general. I've done this for many years in my life, and actually it's I don't know, there's a feeling about that. Like, it's my moment, it's my travel, it's my life, it's my memories, and it's something that nobody will share with you, yes. I don't know, it's maybe very selfish, it's just something that I just like, I just want it for myself. And yes, with these videos, I share a little bit, but it's also to keep it in my memory and remember what I did. This is how I like it. But in this society nowadays, we want everything fast, we want as much thing as possible, we want lots of social interaction, we don't want to be alone. So in this society, even being alone is something bad. It's seen as being an outcast. So for people who really have problem with being alone, traveling with a car might be difficult because you don't have many social interaction with people, and when you have, in general it's for a short of time, but it's in general great time. But you will just be alone most of the time. The campers, they don't talk to each other. People, locals, if you don't go to talk to them, they don't talk to you in general. Maybe if you're a girl, it's gonna be different, I'm not so sure, but if you're a man, you're just gonna be alone. That's how it is. and you better like it to be alone. That's how it is. But in the same time, I think that being alone is something we need to cherish, because in the future, I think being alone will be luxury. It won't be possible to be alone. It won't be possible to be free. It won't be possible to do things without other people or technology or whatever to know what you're doing. So I think, yeah, it will be luxury, and we should enjoy being alone now while we can. If you want to travel, should you do it or not? That's not my decision. I just tell you how it is. The van life is not like every time you see in the video. So you will spend lots of time alone. Be ready for this and learn to enjoy it. Then later on, I went back on the road and I actually saw so many old American cars driven. So I was just wondering what's happening. I just followed them. It was the same way where I was supposed to go, so it was fine. When I arrived in this town, I guess there was kind of festival because, yeah, there was people everywhere, people sitting on the grass, people all around the town, and even more, there was old American cars everywhere. It's like everybody was doing a show with very loud music and people inside just partying. So it was really cool to see all these cars actually. And I know Swedish people really like these cars. So it was really interesting to see them. I stayed a couple of hours to see this and I went back on the road. So after driving a couple of hours in the Swedish countryside, I finally arrived to this bakery. This is the name. It's too complicated for me to say it. So as I said, this bakery is in the countryside with pretty much nothing around, as you can see. And first, when I arrive and I see this blue door and this very beautiful building, I was already amazed by this bakery. It looks very charming, very lovely. And when you go inside, this is what you can see. This bakery is super pretty. So I talked a little bit with the owner and she told me that they're open 24 hours a day and all week because they have a kind of self-service. So people, they can come in, take whatever they want and pay. Well, of course, there are some people who steal products. She said it happens. But you can go at 2 a.m. and take your bread. That's quite cool. And she showed me the oven, which is a very old wood oven also. They use because they are actually a couple. And I had to buy some product. I bought a few things and on the road, I stopped somewhere to try them. So I bought this bread, which was a normal bread with olives and cheese. And wow, I cut this bread, sourdough bread of course, and this bread was really amazing. I ate one big part like this and I couldn't really stop it. It was really delicious. The baking was exactly what I like, and cheese olive in bread is absolutely beautiful. So I was already amazed by this bread. And also I bought some biscuits, but I will try them a little bit later because I think I'm gonna be busy by trying those products now. So the next product I was about to try was this one. It was a kind of brioche with rhubarb jam. It was really amazing. Yeah, that was definitely one of the best bakery I tried on this whole trip. The rhubarb was delicious. It was like a little bit acid, and at the same time you had the sweetness of the brioche plus the sugar. It was just travel eating this. It was delicious. And then I tried the cardamom brioche bun. It was the vanilla cardamom, if I remember. And yeah, you could feel the vanilla. It's a very good mix. It was just amazing also. But the best one was the last one. It was the same dough, but with a raspberry jam. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely delicious. So yeah, I have one regret now. I should have bought more of them. Everything was soft and melting in the mouth in the same time. Yeah, you could just feel the flavor and it was just wow. Then I drove a little bit, stopped here and there, enjoyed the views, and then I stopped somewhere to sleep, but also to try the cookies. Now I want to try these ones. It's been a few hours, so I'm hungry. That's just some cookies with chocolate and almonds. And they were also quite amazing. On these cookies, you can see the piece of almonds, you can see the chocolate, and they were still super crunchy, not even soft. And the flavor also of these almonds and chocolate, it was delicious. It was time for me to go on the road again, and I just drove near Uppsala, where I had to stay a couple of days to wait for my girlfriend to come with me for a short trip on the weekend.
I'm a traveling spirit, I've seen many shores, from the West Pacific to the island of Kenya. They treat me like a son anywhere I go, and even though no one can tell, I still feel that I'm alone. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone. Leave me stranded, I know how to handle it all on my own.
So now we are near Uppsala, which is a city not too far from Stockholm, walking in a beautiful forest actually, just next to the city, and it's really lovely. It's beautiful. Everything you can see, all on the floor, all around me, it's blueberries. Blueberries everywhere. Most of them they are picked up already because people come and pick them up. You also can find strawberries, wild strawberries, and mushroom, lots of mushroom.
On this road, but even so, I still feel that I'm alone. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone. Leave me stranded, I know how to handle it all on my own. I'm alone.
So we first visited Sigtuna in the area, a very small touristic town, super pretty. And there were also lots of memories of Viking in the area. There was some church from this time, and there's lots of history about that in the area. So that's quite interesting to go, and even the town is pretty. There's the bakery also, I tried it, I went inside, I filmed a little bit to show you this one. And I tried the product, but I didn't really film because, honestly, it wasn't really good. So I had no real point to show this on the video. But I can show you this beautiful image of the town and the surrounding areas. So yes, I'm gonna show you now a few images of this road trip, and if you like nature, yeah, you can enjoy it. If you don't, well, see you next week. In this video, my partner and I traveled to Stockholm to explore the city. And despite the rainy summer weather, the discovery of the old town was a delightful experience. Even though I had visited a decade ago, I had forgotten how charming Stockholm is. The colorful buildings, architecture, and overall cleanliness make Stockholm an incredibly beautiful city. However, you better embrace colors here, as the abundance of LGBT pride flags is always everywhere to serve as a reminder. In fact, you might find more of these flags than the Swedish one. You can even find them in places unrelated to this cause, such as souvenir shops, for example. Nevertheless, that's how it is, and whatever you think, you like it or not, the point is, in this city you will always feel welcome. But for us, the city has its limits, and a return to nature was necessary, and that's not to mention the wonderful encounter I had, and I let you admire this magnificent creature. The next day, we had a brief visit to Uppsala, and I would describe this city as a miniature of Stockholm. It boasts a magnificent church, but what truly caught our attention was the world's smallest bakery. And look at this, it's here, just watch as I walk by. Let's get closer and have a look to the work atmosphere. It's bustling with activity. The salespeople are already waiting for customers, while an employee restocks the products on the shelves. Downstairs, The baker is working diligently to prepare everything before the first customers arrive. And even further below, another team of bakers is busy mixing and shaping the dough. It's a coordinated effort, even with people running up and down the stairs. Now, let's take a look at the variety of products, ranging from pastries and cake to the exquisite wood-fired bread. This is a very pretty bakery, so I'm gonna let you savor the ambience of the world's tiniest bakery. And that's it. Incredible, isn't it? Well, just above this bakery, there is another one, but for humans. And we had to go and sample some of their products. And it turns out that the bakery is a franchise, but at the moment we were really hungry, so we didn't have much of a choice. I'm just gonna give you a quick tour of the bakery, which is a kind of luxury bakery, and let's have a look at the products. But I'm not gonna comment many things about that because I don't really want to say too much on the franchise. So afterwards, we wrapped up the day with a visit to the surrounding and the cathedral. And I must admit, I'm fascinated by these structures. Even though I'm not religious in the slightest, I admire these buildings because they showcase what humans are capable of. They're not just capable of making a mess, destroy everything, not all the time. They can create magnificent structures, and that's why I enjoy visiting them. But after spending some time in the cities, as always, nothing beats nature. And this time, once again, I hit the road alone. My partner went back to our training, and this time I'm heading north, along the Swedish coastline. I made a stop by a lake, standing there, alone, between the rain and the sun. And of course, another magical place in Sweden. Just my dog, me, a van in the middle of nature. Everything a lake. about this bread. It's foodie bread, the bakery. They make the bread at home. They have everything to make bread. They have a wood oven, and they are also even self-sufficient for the electricity of the bakery. And they use also only local ingredients. So they don't have a shop few days a week. They sell on the markets in some areas around, and also in some supermarket. But I touched the bread just to choose like this, and I'm a little bit confused because it doesn't look fresh. So this one is sourdough bread, and yeah, it's very hard actually. Just like this looks like a bread from yesterday or even 2 days ago. It's extremely. It's not from today. So I paid this bread 75 Swedish crown. It's like 6 euro, 6.5 euro, and it's not even fresh actually. So I don't know who kind of fucked up, shop or the bakery, but this is not from today, 100% not. It's maybe like even 2 days ago. It's really hard to chew. It's really hard to eat. I don't think I'm gonna eat it. I don't want to be mean with this bakery because apparently what they do is really nice. There's something wrong with delivery today. I'm a bit confused and I can't really judge this bread. I don't know what to say. So this is a very old train. It's beautiful. So I talked with the owner, and he's from Switzerland actually, and he arrived in Sweden not so long ago and opened the bakery. See, the bakery is super pretty, such a nice, beautiful view to work. And he make everything with sourdough, so well, that's a great job. Small bakery in the countryside. That's exactly what I want to find and what I want to see. So as you can see, I'm eating, and from the bakery I bought this bread. So it's jalapeno bread. It's fresh. And this is the other bread I bought. So again, it's a sourdough bread, and this one is a oat bread mixed with oat flour and some oats on the top also, and under even. Bread itself looks okay. It's not the prettiest bread ever. So the bread is a little bit dense, but it's oat bread, so I don't know the percentage of oat. The taste of this bread is really good. And also because I told him that I am baker, he also gave me some special flour that he used. So it's kind of flour. I'm not 100% sure I understood. What I know is it's from charcoal, but I think it's a mix of some flour plus charcoal, because he makes some charcoal bread. There was nothing like that today. But yeah, he made this and he gave me some flour, maybe 1 kilo for free. So that's super nice. That's really, really nice. So this is the ruins of a church from the 14th century. There's something super nice in the forest in Sweden, is that there's so many mushrooms. Big variety of mushroom. I wish I knew more about them. I know a little bit for the main ones, which one I can eat, which one are edible. There's so many different variety here that I have no clue. So this hike is pretty much 1 hour to this place from the parking in the south. Yeah, pretty much the same to go back. You have the possibility to take another way, so which we're gonna do. Gonna go to the top and we'll go down and come back. So this part is not really easy because we have to climb there and I have to hold this cable, and at the same time I have to hold this dog. She's getting tired. It's not high, but for her, not easy. And this is the view. Sometimes it's not that easy, it's just big stone like this. So you have to be sure where you put your feet not to fall. And she go in the front and I just follow, but she's quite fast, so I have to be fast too. Sometimes it's much easier. There are these wooden boards. We almost arrived anyway, so that was extremely lovely walk. It took like maybe 3 hours. I arrived to this place quite randomly. I didn't know actually that was such a beautiful beach. Actually, I have to drive a few hours to pick up my girlfriend. I just stopped here just to get a rest. It's really beautiful. I really want to stay here, but yeah, I still need to drive. So I have to be after tomorrow 8 a.m. somewhere at the airport. So I drove a few hours to find this place in the middle of nature. I was able to enjoy an absolutely magical and almost solitary place since only one camper was on the same spot as me, while on the opposite shore the RVs were crowded together. So the next morning I woke up early just to enjoy the calm of the Baltic Sea. The next day, I picked up my girlfriend at the airport in the north of Sweden. At this point, our goal is to go to the north of Finland. So we drove for a few hours to find this nearly deserted beach. To access it, we took a very muddy path, only accessible with a four-wheel drive. And the purpose is get out of here without scratching the car, and here is completely sand. Someone got stuck here. The following day, we drove a bit more, this time to reach another place in the middle of nature, not far from Luleå. I was able to do a bit of off-roading again, without taking too many risks. Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to get myself out of a bad situation. And of course, a good evening wouldn't be complete without some mushroom picking followed by a meal. Being able to nourish oneself from nature is fantastic, as enjoying the weather, the calm of the forest, with no one around, appreciating the sun, simple things that still give me so much pleasure. Also, seeing my dog enjoy her life more normally because she often has panic attacks. This poor beast comes from a dog meat trade in South Korea, and you can see her story in the description of this video. But all good things come to an end, so we hit the road again for the far north, with a stop in another wonderful place. An immense lake, a shelter, a place to have a wood fire, a table, a swing, toilets, and of course, mushrooms. For information, it's not recommended to eat mushrooms every day. We stopped at a point of the Arctic Circle, and an interesting fact here is that, looking at its flags, they represent all the countries where the Arctic Circle passes, and I call it the Cancel Society. It has released the Russian flag. Otherwise, let's be honest, if we're doing it for countries committing crimes, why is the American flag still there? And later on we also stop at this lake, which doesn't look special from below, but from above, it's actually an artificial lake in the shape of Finland. And not too far from here, we also had the curiosity to visit another place, an ancient Viking sacrificial site, tens of kilometers away from civilization. After this little detour, we decided to hit the road north, hoping to see the northern light, even though the season is still in its early stages.
From here,
this video, our goal was clear: to venture to the far north in search of the Northern Light. So we embarked on a journey over dozens of kilometers of rough and bumpy tracks, and occasionally encountering reindeer crossing the road, which made the trip both hazardous and even magical. The wild animals and breathtaking landscapes made this journey truly memorable, leading us to the town of Inari in Finnish Lapland. Upon arrival, the town itself didn't hold particular interest, which is why we first stopped at the rapids along a magnificent river that flows into the lake Inari, the third largest lake in the country. At this location, a small bridge allows us to cross the river, and I can proudly say that my dog Hodu crossed it like a warrior. Then we did some shopping, sent a postcard and resumed our journey for a few kilometers to an elevated parking where we planned to spend the night. While looking at Google Maps, we noticed that a lake was only a few kilometers away from foot, so naturally we decided to go check it out. And there we discovered a cabin for hikers, which was really well equipped. So we returned to the car to take some food and sleeping gear, and then we went back to the cabin. It was quite a hike, but in such a beautiful environment, there was nothing to complain. It was really magical. We spent 3 days in the region, waiting for the Northern Light, and this cabin was our last hope. It actually had everything we needed, including wood for eating, tools, tables, and benches. The first thing we did was light the wood burning stove to warm up the room, since the sunset and cold were approaching. Then we sat on the pier, admiring the place and even considering the possibility of taking a dip in the crystal clear lake. However, we had a big lack of courage. Once the wood-burning stove was blazing, we took advantage of it to cook our dinner directly in it, with a few sweet potatoes and some Finnish cheese. Although we weren't entirely sure about the cooking time or if we were doing it right, but we did it anyway. Then we simply enjoyed the sunset while waiting for the Northern Light. Unfortunately, the cloudy sky diminished our chances of seeing the Northern Lights, but the moment was absolutely magical, and the evening was peaceful, so we enjoyed the night and fall asleep like babies. The next day, the weather forecast predicted a very bad weather in the coming days, so we decided to begin our descent toward the south. After several hours of driving through endless forest, we witnessed a very rare meteorological phenomenon.
There's something quite interesting. There's like a circle around the sun. I've never seen that before. That's quite cool.
Finally, after several hours on the road, we arrived in Rovaniemi. You might not be aware of this, but this is where you can find the Santa Claus village, and the entrance is free. So we took the opportunity to visit. Being off week, the village was open during the day, and there were relatively few people. We explored his residence, and even, through the keyholes of the door, we caught glimpses of the elves already at work for the winter. And you also have the option to drop your Christmas letter directly into Santa's mailbox. And to finish the visit, you can get the chance to take a photo with the legendary Santa Claus. We didn't take the picture. I thought Santa Claus would be generous enough not to charge it, but he does have to pay the elves, so I prefer to take a picture with Santa Claus statue. Then we quickly made our way through the area, and it's quite possible that in winter there are many more activities, and the place might be even more enchanting. Moreover, the village is located exactly on the Arctic Circle, another positive point for tourism.
Arctic Circle limit. We can just go. Beautiful.
And then, for the last night of this video, we were hoping to catch a glimpse of the Northern Lights one last time. Unfortunately, they didn't grace us with their beauty. It was pretty much the last chance in the north of Finland to see them. So we slept in the parking area before hitting the road again the next day.
So we are in Rovaniemi city center. Well, it's quite small town, there's nothing special. We are 29th of August and it's 14 degrees.
This week, the video starts in the cool city of Rovaniemi, still in Finland. This city in the northern part of the country has a population of 60,000 people. Yet, on this beautiful late summer day, we find it quite deserted. Well, one more reason is that it's Sunday. For us, this works well, as we can leisurely stroll around, explore the city center, and enjoy a pleasant walk along the river. And despite my search, I couldn't find a decent bakery here, so to try some local product, we turned to the supermarket. And this was mainly to taste something and satisfy our hunger. So we drove for about an hour before stopping at a nice little spot to have our snack.
Just bought this.
You can buy it anywhere in Finland.
We bought some croissants to try. And I couldn't find any proper bakery. So we tried this before. It's with potato.
These pastries have different flavors, sometimes with rice and sometimes, like this one, with potatoes.
Now it tastes like potato. Maybe the other one was something different.
But this one is potato. And we tried before. It was different taste. Well, they're from the supermarket, so nothing special to say. They look like croissant.
These croissants, on the other hand, were quite good for supermarket croissants, with nice buttery taste and soft texture.
That's the croissant, a little bit flat.
So it's just a market.
Yeah, market croissants, so nothing special. Quite cheap, kind of cheap, but tasty.
Found a fantastic spot by the sea to spend the evening and enjoy a magnificent sunset. Finland has a taste of being a somewhat wild country, both in terms of its population, in a positive sense, and it's nature, but we quite like it. It's peaceful and we are very aware that no one will bother us here. So the next day we stopped in Vasa, and I turned on my bakery radar, so we had to visit one. We found a cute little bakery in the city center. Although the entrance was somewhat unexpected, we bought some product and then went directly to visit an historic site nearby.
So that's the ruins of an old town. So that was built 17th century and was burned by the fire in the 19th century. So this is St. Mary's Church. She's sitting in front of the church.
During the visit, we couldn't resist having a snack, so we indulged ourselves. We're giving a little review of this typical Finnish flatbread.
Apparently it's made with spelt flour and rye flour, and it's a flatbread.
Honestly, eaten plain, it's so-so. It definitely deserves a bit of sauce or some good hummus or something like that.
Without the salt, it would be like so tasteless.
Something really special. So that's all. We also bought one croissant and one cannibal. We'll see this later.
And as I say, appetite comes with eating. So back in the car, we tasted the rest of the products we bought at Muley Bakery. A cinnamon roll, a croissant, and a small sourdough bread. We started with the croissant, and I can easily say that it was delicious. Although a bit dense, which gives it a somewhat heavy mouthfeel, but it was really good.
So she also do some sourdough bread. It's good. Good sourdough bread, you want to try? So the bread is good, the bakery is pretty. And we try the last one, cinnamon roll.
And for the cinnamon roll, same speech. It was top notch. As always, Scandinavians are the masters of cinnamon
The
rolls.
cinnamon roll, they're super tasty here. Or even in Sweden, because they're super soft. Okay, well that's all for the video.
And of course, this is the bakery. A simple one, an artisan bakery just as I like them. Everything is made and sold right here. So I recommend everyone to take a look. So afterwards, we drove straight to Turku. And by the way, if you want to support the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe. Now let's get back to the visit. So Turku is a relatively large city in southern Finland, with almost 200,000 inhabitants. It's definitely a city not to be missed, especially if you have time to visit the archipel around. It's apparently very beautiful, but we didn't have much time, so we didn't go there. There's a lot to see and do here. Architecture, history, and also its churches. As I mentioned in another video, I like visiting churches, even though I'm not religious at all. These places hide so many mysteries, myths, legends, and lies. Then, when I enter a church, I can't help but look for secret passages that, of course, I never find. But everything is beautiful, everything lends itself to history, imagination, and I really love the calm that reigns in this place. And what I like the most is in the churches, it remains a rare place where everyone stays silent. So this is quite nice. And of course, we couldn't visit Turku without stopping at the best bakery in town. Located in a kind of mini shopping mall, this little bakery is once again a very nice one. Everything is homemade, real artisans. So we bought several products and stopped in a place not far from Helsinki for the next visit, and we tasted all the products we bought.
So we went to the bakery.
And now we're gonna try
Yes, so I don't remember the name of the bakery, so I write it. This is
poppy seeds.
and seeds in general. Right.
So we started with these little loaves. they also sold in a large format, and they were absolutely delicious. Sourdough, a pronounced taste of seeds, and olives even better.
Full of seeds.
Very good.
This for the olives.
Everything's sourdough.
The bakery offers a wide variety of bread for such a small size, so don't hesitate to try it if you go there.
So this one, I don't know. Probably like kind of bread, maybe a kind of brioche.
It's sweet, but there's lots of butter inside.
Yeah, and sugar on top, and maybe some cardamom.
Next, this pastry, with flavored butter inside. A real treasure. I wouldn't have believed at first, this butter in the middle of the brioche is really delicious.
Very good.
It's with vanilla and
Apple.
The next one, a kind of apple tart, but on a brioche, with its little crumble topping. And again, a delight.
it's not too sweet, it's like bread.
Apple, vanilla cream, crumbs, croissant with Roquefort cheese.
And finally, the last one, the Roquefort croissant. I just imagine it just out of the oven.
You can't see the layers because there's cheese inside.
A good taste of strong French cheese, maybe not French, I don't know exactly where it comes from, but a taste that I know well, and we really enjoyed it too.
Yeah. The croissant itself is good. You can see a lot of layers. The bakery name was Les Pommes Grain in Turku. So we paid the croissant, the Roquefort croissant, €4.50. $4.50 for the round things, the poula, and $3.50 for the other one. Bread is cheap, kind of $1.50. So total for this 15, almost €16.
And we come to the end of this video, and don't forget to support the channel by subscribing if the bakery interests you.
We're just resting a little bit in a pretty place. No.
Then we headed in town, finding a rather secluded parking spot not too far from the center. We began our visit with this church, a beautiful building, and the best part, it's free to enter. Next, we went to the large square with the stunning modern cathedral. This square is a highly touristy spot in Helsinki, where every tourist rushes to climb the stairs. And I have to admit that it's hard to lose sight of my girlfriend with her beautiful yellow coat. The Lutheran Cathedral of Helsinki was built in the 1830s. Then we wandered through the streets of the capital in the rain, admiring the architecture of the buildings. Some, like Pohjola, are particularly famous. Then we saw the train station square, which is pretty much just brownish. And a shopping mall, some naked men working hard, and finally a bakery that we didn't film or we didn't even buy anything from because it wasn't really interesting. But we quickly made up for another bakery. Although I don't really like it when you can't see the production of the products, which is the case here, so it's difficult to talk about the artisanal and independent side. Moreover, we waited for about 10 to 15 minutes and no one came. So I'm a Frenchman. Of course, I thought about stealing the cash register, but I didn't do it. So we left with nothing, no cash and no pastries. But we didn't give up. We found another bakery, this time with someone inside. But I'm still uncertain about the artisanal aspect. But well, and despite the relatively high prices, we decided to buy some products.
We went to the bakery, named Les Pommes, which means bakery actually. Well, we couldn't see if they make everything on the back. Everything was expensive in Helsinki, but we bought a few things. Sourdough bread, just small bun.
And after a few hours of sightseeing, we were able to do the review in the car.
Wholemeal, smells good. That's a good one. This, we don't know what is it.
It's cinnamon.
Cinnamon, but different shape.
Because it was raining and we didn't have any better spot to do that.
It's a dry,
Because of the shape, I think.
maybe.
Oh, it's a cinnamon bun, different shape.
Yeah.
But it's always good. Probably the dough from croissant.
Oh, the berries or the fruits, they're so good.
No, this is good. The dough is good.
Maybe a little bit too sweet,
I like it. The dough is good, the jam is good, the fruit is good.
but it was around €5.
€4 for the cinnamon. This bakery is good, but I don't know if it's really artisan because, well, we don't know how they make it at the back.
Yeah,
so-
we couldn't see.
And here is Tallinn, because we took the ferry and slept in a not so great parking lot, but at least it was free and we could visit the capital of Estonia the next morning. And since it's the morning, we quickly find a super bakery for breakfast in an absolutely beautiful neighborhood. The bakery has a lot of charm, quite crowded, beautiful products, how to choose, but prices are already a bit more affordable compared to Finland. And we finally managed to choose something because everything looks good. But we'll review them a bit later in the video because after these purchases, we went to explore the city. And this part of the center is a beautiful mix of ancient, typical architecture and modernity. We even saw autonomous delivery robots wandering around these neighborhoods. And when I see this, I admit that I'm a bit troubled by the future that awaits the next generation, where total control of their existence is looming. In the end, one thing is for sure, now freedom disappears, just leaving us to accept government control over our lives. We vote for that after all, so we get what we deserve. Then we stop at a shopping mall to taste the bakery products. And you'll notice that the audio is not clear, so I'm doing the voiceover for the taste test. The first product, a superb rhubarb and almond pastry. Perfectly baked, delicious, sweet, with a hint of sourness, it was a perfect combo.
So this one is with cheese and
Deal.
dill.
Deal.
The second product, I admit, I don't really remember, but judging by your faces, it must have been quite good. Then we continued the tour of Tallinn on foot and under the rain, under a lot of rain. But even soaked, it didn't stop us. We visited the superb St. John's Church and the magnificent Freedom Square, with, as you can see, everywhere and always the Ukrainian flag, just to remind you of whom you have a moral obligation to support. Then we enjoyed our rather wet visit of Tallinn. Its impressive places full of stories. The city is truly a favorite. I didn't expect to find such a beautiful place. So we just decided to get lost in as many streets as possible. Passing by the magnificent Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, built during the time of the Russian Empire. Then the little Allée Katarina Kaik and its various art shop and coffees. This tree surrounded by buildings, and for me it's really hard to set up the camera, there's so many things to see. Then the time for a break arrives. So of course, we find the bakery, and this time with on-site production, but not visible. The place is warm, atypical, and all the products looks delicious. Then we return to our visit. The hours go by, and we never get tired because this city is beautiful and surprising. I say it again, a real favorite, but every good thing has an end. So at the end of the day, we return to the port and pick up our vehicle to sleep in nature.
So I'm gonna try this focaccia. Well, it looks a little bit dense first, but we'll see.
olive, dry tomato, and cheese. It's very dense.
That's how it should be, no?
No, it should be light. Oh, it's good, but it's dense. It's tasty anyway. So we bought this in the second bakery. So you choose, so what is it? Because I don't remember.
It's just a poppy seed,
Poppy seed brioche, kind of.
and that's all inside.
Some syrup.
Because it's boiled with the milk, usually, or water.
Mm.
And it's lovely.
I have to say
And
it's super
very,
good.
Very soft.
Super soft. So after our excursion with the visit of Tallinn and its bakeries in the previous video, we continue our adventure with the Turisalu cliffs not far from the capital. This place was amazing. We even slept next to the beach and we needed a shower, so we quickly jumped into the river that flows into the sea. The water was quite cool already in this month of September, and even after living like this several months in a car and taking showers outside, it's quite difficult to jump in. So we went to Crostham Bakery. Crostham? Try it. Sourdough bread. And
Looks very pretty.
looks pretty. And smells good. I think the price was $2.50 for this.
For half.
For half.
The option to take just half. The whole one was big.
But it's delicious.
Oi.
I like it. The bakery is situated in a very strange place actually.
Right.
You really need to know that the bakery is here, otherwise you don't know. So now we're gonna try this also, which is the cabbage egg, so it's probably salty.
It's like I never eat something like this before. This combination, cabbage and the egg,
Think
but it's
something.
super good.
The dough is probably like just basic dough, but very good. I'm gonna try alone the pain au chocolat. You don't want it, so it's all for me. Well, pain au chocolat is nothing special. Pain au chocolat as usual. Puff pastry, French dough, whatever you call it, with some chocolate inside. My favorite. Well, the layers are nice. Well, you can see it's super crunchy and super tasty. Very good chocolatine actually. Pain au chocolat is for people from Paris and the north of France. So it's delicious chocolatine. And in this bakery they make everything because they have the lab just next to the bakery and there's the baker at the back. Actually I saw only women also. They do everything there. That's Artisan Bakery. That's cool. It's Crostham Bakery near Tallinn in Estonia. Next, we continue to explore a part of the north coast. A pretty wild and beautiful place. We parked the camper here for the night and walked along the cliffs to the Pakri Lighthouse and its beautiful sculpture for sailors. It was truly a peaceful place. And it's actually here we decided to review the latest bakery product. But sorry, the sound is not great, so you should activate the subtitles.
So now we're gonna have a coffee, afternoon coffee with the lovely sweets we buy.
This morning from the bakery, this one.
And the flavor is the caramel sauce and some nuts inside.
Super fluffy, well sticky because it's caramel. So of course it's sweet, but not too sweet actually.
It's on top, the caramel is just on top. 350 euros.
And yeah, this bakery, there was a street, quite busy street, and on the right there was just some cars, kind of garage or I don't know. And at the end it's dead end, and you arrive to this bakery, and you don't even see it. And there were many people. Okay, no problem. I can tell that these last 3 months of adventures in nature, in places like this, I am more than grateful. Because in France, it's really difficult to find such places, for example, where van life has completely ruined the freedom of traveling in France. That said, on our way to the south, we stopped at this small micro bakery, 100% artisanal and some super nice products. We went to the bakery, Craft Bakery. Super pretty bakery. It was small and it's a micro bakery, so they have everything inside.
It was pretty because there was pretty product.
And they do everything in the same place. They make, they bake, and they sell. And so we bought one seeded bread, which is quite big.
Like my face, bigger than my face.
It's sourdough, and it smells good. Well, it's sourdough bread, fresh
Lots of
bread,
seeds.
lots of seed. As usual, it's super delicious. So yeah,
It's a cheesecake with the blueberries.
it's a cheesecake with blueberries. I think they make, of course, they make everything also. I don't know much about the cheesecake because I'm not a big fan. It's super good, but I can't really compare.
It's good, but it's not the typical cheesecake I know.
Well, to me it's fine. To me it's very tasty, very good. The bread is €5, which is quite expensive. It's Estonia, but I guess that's the price for small micro bakery. Well, if you want cheaper, you go to Lidl and you will have some cheap bread. I'm gonna cut the croissant. It's big and heavy.
It looks pretty.
So it's a little bit dense, maybe.
It's not very buttery actually.
Maybe the percentage of butter is a little bit lower than what I know. You can feel the butter, but it's not like crazy. And I like when it's heavy. Like at least you buy something.
And you pay for this and you got what you pay for.
Yeah. Kind of industrial bakery. You bake the croissant. It's super light. You do this and then it's just a paper. But it's
At
very
least
good.
I'm used to yours.
In the following days, we were able to go to the west coast, visit several nice places, including this long beach, mainly used at this time by kite surfers. As you can see, it's quite windy, so obviously, it's the perfect spot. Then we found a small cozy spot by the sea, a beautiful little place, with shelter for dining, heating up and cooking. And just a few meters away from the sea and the beach to cool off our stinky feet. We just enjoyed, cook our food, get warm because it was a little bit cold, and we just slept here before hitting the road the next day. After spending a quiet night by the sea, we headed towards the center of Latvia, directly to the Goja National Park, with its famous red cliffs in the middle of the forest. We did a short hike and it brought us around the area, bringing us back to the entrance of the parking and its natural spring of pure water. So naturally, we took advantage of it and we filled our boat, but it's water with magical power. Here we have this sign, and the men carry the backpack. In 2023, we want everything equal. So why the men should carry the backpack? We should give it to the woman, or share it eventually. What do you think?
I think the men should
Then we went for a visit to the nearby city. It wasn't crowded and there are quite a few historical things to see. Buildings, medieval castle in a beautiful park. It was a nice place to explore before returning to our favorite place, the sea. Here, we simply enjoyed our time. And Hodu, my dog, did it too. She's a huge fan of beaches, definitely our favorite place. Even though the place was deserted, we found these cute sculptures, and I particularly love these. Very representative of 2023, where people live in fear. We hear, see, and say nothing, accepting every infringement of privacy and freedom. And a little bit further, there was another sculpture of a dolphin, and more pretty sand sculptures. Here, we were in Riga, Latvia's capital, and we started the tour with a visit of the first bakery. And in this bakery, we actually didn't buy anything because it was not really the kind of bakery I wanted to buy in, and the prices were a little bit too high for what it was. So first we just walked around. This was a quick tour of the city. But now, let's have a quick stop at this special Citroën bakery. As you can see, it is quite a luxurious bakery in some ways. Everything looks perfect. We just saw it while walking down the street, so despite not knowing about the independent and artisan side of this bakery, I never tried a Citroën. So we had to, even though I know it's just a croissant dough filled with cream and baked in a form. So we chose the blueberry Citroën, and honestly, just looking at it now, I can say that it is pretty much perfect, beautiful, and it makes me hungry. We ate it there, in the shop, taking our time to enjoy it because it was really delicious. And the cream was absolutely amazing. Every bite was full of flavors. Then we continued our visit. But we quickly found a muffin store, so of course we had to stop there too. The place was small, but with enough space for tables and chairs. The most important thing here is the variety of muffin they offer, savory and sweet. It was really hard to make a proper choice, but we did, choosing a spring onion muffin and the chocolate and hazelnut one, and they both were absolutely very tasty. Then we packed up everything and drove away. I stopped a little bit in the forest to have the brekkie, and you can find a place like this. So we're in Lithuania now. Well, this is not uncommon. You can find this also in France. It's just dirty. That's what people do. Finally, we ended our Baltic countries city tour with Vilnius, another beautiful city where we felt well and safe, capturing the magic of Eastern countries. And if I can compare with France, yeah, in Eastern countries I can feel super safe. Anyway, we went straight to the first bakery, grabbed a croissant and an eclair. This bakery was quite pretty. We could even see the kitchen lab behind. With a taste of home kitchen, it was a very nice place.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what
So I eat the croissant.
I eat the eclair with the pistachio.
Pistache. Eclair à la pistache.
Filling. Wow, they're so good.
And my croissant is super tasty too. Small pastry shop. Maybe it's the woman or someone else, but they make everything at the back. Good reviews on Google. Oh, super nice place.
Then, a few meters away from there was another bakery, even with the name written in French. Inside this bakery, impossible to talk about how products are made here. But this place also has amazing products. Everything is super pretty and makes us drool. And we bought the super 2023 trend, the New York roll. And also a filled bicolor croissant. Two products that I actually never tried before, and naturally they were delicious.
I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
The raspberry croissant was a success with this flavorful jam, and the roll had a delicious Nutella filling. But honestly, it's just like a croissant, different shape and different price. That place was a very nice one.
It's all gone.
And pretty much straight after this bakery, there was another one, 100 meters from there.
My will is strong with a place to lean. In the moment I hung desperately. The other ring on my wrist is gold.
Again with a French name. French product, croissant, éclair, chocolatines. We chose to buy one cannelé and one sablé breton. And this bakery is pretty cute, although it was quite empty this day. And these products just bought look nice. After trying, the taste was quite different from what I know. I can't really say we liked it. Definitely not our taste, unfortunately.
I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on.
So we spent the whole day in Vilnius, walking kilometers around, exploring the small streets, getting lost at some corners. And here are some images of this very pretty city, architecture and churches.
Feeling is all gone. 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 Feeling is all gone.
Then we went to visit one of the prettiest and biggest castles in Lithuania, an absolute beauty. And this is also where I crashed my drone straight into the water. And you can see here, this is the images. No idea what happened. It kept moving, impossible to stabilize, and yeah, the drama occurred. So, this 3 months road trip is about to end. We didn't film much when we drove back to Poland, but my partner, my dog and I had lots of fun. Thank you for watching the road trip to bakeries. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you want to know more about bakeries. And I don't know what's coming next. I don't know if I'm gonna do more video, we'll see. And thank you for watching. Ciao.